Hello, Daniel Scott from San Diego Haunted.com. We're going to do multi-part videos to show you how to build the Phasma device, the Phasma paranormal engine, as I like to call it. So the very first part that you're going to need is the Wave Share ESP32 S3. This is the board right here. That's the heart of the module of the Phasma device, and it has a monitor right here, a little screen. We'll move that to the side. What other pieces do we have? So we have here, this is our GPS. Let's see if I can disconnect the wire from it. This is our GPS unit. We have a RTC real-time clock backup battery. We have a lithium-ion battery. We have the Modulino chirp/speaker device. It's not really a speaker, it just makes like sounds. We have the Modulino rotary button/switch. We have here we have a magnetometer, and we have our temperature sensors. In addition to that, you'll need a bunch of cabling, various size, SHT 2.0, 3.0, 1.0. And then lastly, I didn't show you this, but you most definitely need an SD card. Just pull this one out real quick. This one I have here is a 16 megabyte SD card. So 16 gigabyte SD card, sorry. You don't want to go really high on the gigabytes because you have to format the SD card in FAT32, and once you get above, I think it's 64 gigs or something like that, it becomes where it'll only format in exFAT style, and you have to format it for this board in the ESP32. It has to be formatted in FAT32. There you go. So that's all the pieces. And other things you'll need a power switch. Generic power switch. There you go. And that's all for the first video. Okay, so this is going to be our next video about how to prep the SD card to get it ready for the files that are going to go on here. So I have a little SD card reader hooked up to my tablet, and I've got the SD card in here already. I've already formatted it as FAT32. So we're going to go up to github.com, and you're going to find this developer ready kit zip right here. You're going to click on that and download it. After you download it, open your downloads folder. You're going to go ahead and unzip it. And when you unzip it, you're going to come to this file right here. And you're going to double click on that. And prepare micro SD card. Double click on that. Two ways of doing it. The SD card files are actually right here on the top. You can just copy them straight into your formatted SD card and it'll work just fine. Or if you want to do it a little bit differently using a command line, you can double click on this. It's going to open in a very simple command line program. Give it a second to show up. And then it should detect your removable disk right here. That's it right there. And then at that point, you would just click copy Phasma files, and it already says cards detected, confirm the drive, then copy. So let's go ahead and do it. Yep, and it says prepare D as a clean Phasma Junior Lite. Existing Phasma folders on that drive will be deleted and replaced. Other folders will be left alone. Make sure this is the correct micro SD card. Yes, we're going to go ahead and click that. Well, actually, I'm not, because I've already formatted this card 4 times, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But once you do that, it's going to flash all the documents. You know what? Let's just do it anyways, because just to prove it works. There you go. Awesome. So it's completely flashed it onto the SD card. So now we're going to go ahead and safely remove the SD card. Eject. I wonder if I eject that. Let's eject it this way. Just eject. Cool. So the SD card should be out, and all you're going to do is pull it out. Go back to your Phasma device and just put it inside. There you go. So now the SD card is back inside the Phasma device, and that's going to be the end of this video, and then we'll come up with the next video in just a minute. So stand by. Stand by for me to stop this. Stop. So just so you know, if you hear my child or TV in the background, this is part 3 of the video. Very active right now. So I made a little wiring diagram here, and it's available on the website. The wiring diagram is probably the hardest part of this, so I'm just going to go over some of this real quick. So, on the back of your board, you have a UART connector, which is a 4-pin connector. I think I just spit on myself on camera, but that's okay. There's a 4-pin connector, and then you also have a battery backup, your RTC real-time clock battery backup right here. And here's the connector for that. So sometimes, most times, the lithium-ion battery, the RTC real-time clock backup are wired incorrectly. So you really have to look using a magnifying glass to see what the wiring should be. So in this case, on RTC, it's showing positive at the bottom, negative at the top. Yeah. Yes, that's my daughter behind me. So in this case, we had to separate the cord and then rewire it so it was opposite each other. So now when I plug it in, red, which is at top, is actually negative. Negative at the bottom is actually positive. So now the two match up. Okay, just keep that in mind. You have to make sure the polarity matches up. Luckily, this battery right here matches perfectly the polarity that's on the back of the board, and then so that works out perfect. So the only real hard wiring involved in this is the GPS device. Okay, so this one has a couple of options. You could actually solder in the pins here, and then you can use, so you would solder in, say, grab some of these loose wires over here. You can solder in a 4-pin SHT connector like so, okay, and so no, let me rephrase that. So you could solder in headers to these if you want to. I didn't use headers because there's actually a little teeny slot at the bottom here for those connectors. But the problem is you got to know what colors match where, and I wanted to make it really easy for you guys. So when you buy this actual model, it's going to come with, I'm going to separate these out. it's going to come with a connector like this. Okay? And it has different colors on the bottom, whatnot. So when you can only plug in one way. So when you plug it in, I label the colors from top to bottom on my sheet. Okay. So I shouldn't say that. I did originally do that, and then I had an AI rewrite it for me. Of course, that didn't work out so well. But what's important is the colors: green, white, red, and blue. When you plug it in, you're going to have those colors that come with the SH2 model that you're getting. Then you're going to buy a generic set of cables, okay? They come like in a pack like this, and there's like all different kinds and sizes. This is the parts list bill of materials. Here's the connector, and it's got 4 of these connectors. Let's try that one. This one. Same connector, except it has male pins at the bottom, and this one has female pins at the bottom. We gotta get these pins to match together in the board. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this into the UART. UART. And then I have it already matched up on the paper what colors go where. So from the UART board, black goes to black, red goes to red. So that's pretty easy. Black to black, red to red. And then according to the paper, green and yellow go together. So green from this one, yellow to this one. And then white and blue should go together. White and blue. Now, at this point, we're going to go ahead and test this to see if it works. We're going to attach the lithium-ion battery. Oh, I forgot one thing. Let's turn this off. I'm going to actually connect the rotary switch to the ITC at the bottom here. The rotary switch goes to ITC. But I'll explain later, it doesn't really matter, but just for testing purposes. Now we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Okay, so now we need to go to, let's see, locations. Let's go to start investigation. And we'll go to wait for GPS. So now what we need to do, if we connected it correctly, this little red light in a couple seconds is going to start flashing, and then the green light's going to come on, and it's going to tell us on the board that we've made a connection with this number of satellites and that it is correct. So we just got to wait for that to go through. So we'll just lay this here for a second, wait for it to come through. And we're just going to wait for that to turn. It's flashing, so it means it's definitely getting the data it needs to get. We just got to wait for it to go to a green line, and then it'll change the screen on the top. And, you know, I haven't used this in a while, so this is the first time I've turned it on in quite some time, so it might take a minute for that GPS the first time to lock in. After it locks in the first time, it generally connects very fast. So just give it a second here. Alright, so it says locked. We have 8 satellites, signal good, location acquired. Each DLP is basically, it's 1.29. That means that we're not really getting a super strong signal yet. But from where I am right now, I don't expect that. Seems about normal. So there, basically we know that this wiring works. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and click cancel. And then we're going to click power off. I'm going to turn it off. Now you notice I already have the operating system on the actual board. We're going to go backwards a video and load that in, but first I want to show you how to wire everything up, because from this point, it's all gravy. It doesn't matter which of these connectors you connect together. They're called quick connects. You can do them in any order. They're called ITC devices. They each have a unique address. And once I plug them in, they will work no matter what configuration I put them in on. So here's the other sensors I have. We're going to plug one down here. Oh, I broke part of my housing that I was working on. That's okay. I'll come back to you later. Then we need a small one. Let's see if I have a super small one. If not, then we'll use a big one. I'll come back to it. Let's see. Okay. Not super small, but we'll put it in there anyways. Let's see. And when I put this together, I should probably I'm just going to disconnect the thing from it right now. Make it a little bit easier. Maybe not. Let me see if I can wire it in there with my big old fingers. No. Alright, we'll go this way then. We'll make that the last one. So we'll connect this one here. See if we can put our fingers on the top part. These things drive me nuts. They're actually very simple, but I made the decision of mounting everything prior to doing the video, which is usually not the best thing. Okay, cool. So now I have one down at the bottom. We'll do this one to the back end here. Get it in there. Quick connects, right? Alright, so now we'll do this side. So now every single sensor is wired together here, all daisy chain. And that's why it's really important that you buy the specific parts that I say, because those ITC addresses have to be the same. Now there's a developer kit in the GitHub that allows you to, if you want to change things, it has all the code and it tells you exactly where to take it. If you want to take it to an AI and have it redo it with a different one, it has all the information needed for that to take place. So the last thing I'm going to do is just plug in the battery backup. And at this point, you have a fully functional Phasma device. Yep, let's turn it on. Yep. So now you heard the chirp. That means the chirp works. You can see the lights on all the sensors are on. The light for that's on. The light for this is on. The light for the GPS is on. Let's just go to, I don't know, just start an investigation. Let's see if it's valid GPS. So, yeah, I'm just going to let it go to see if it shows up on valid GPS. But in any case, you can see that it works completely. All I got to do is hit cancel. Let's just go to, did I have a previous investigation? Let me see. No, I do not. Not on this one. Start investigation. Start now. What level do we want? We're going to do adaptive. And then general. And then I live in a haunted house, so it doesn't really matter where I go. Let's do other. And start. Cool. So then there's the dashboard of the Phasma device, telling you all the pertinent information. My hand shaking is just because it's in a strange spot. Awesome. So that's the end of this video. And the next one's going to show you how to program the Phasma, which is super simple. So let's go ahead and stop this right now. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and show you how to program the main board, the ESP32S3. So I've already connected all of the pieces to it. I don't know if this video is going to go before that or after that, so at some point it'll kick in there. But there's a switch at the bottom, and there's two little side switches over here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're right here. When you turn this on, and usually when you turn it on for the first time, what happens is, and you try to program it, it kind of breaks up. So I believe the correct procedure is you turn it off, you hold down both buttons, turn it back on, and then release the two buttons, and it gets you in brick mode. In case that happens, it hasn't happened to me more than once. So, and I've built a couple of these. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave it where it is right now. I'm going to plug in the USB port from my computer, and we're going to plug it in. Awesome. I'll let it load for a second. Let's see now if we can make this do magic. So, now we need to program it. So, as I had said before, you're going to have to go to the GitHub site, and there's one called Phasma Lite Junior Complete. Very top one. You're going to download that kit. You're going to unzip it. Once you unzip it, you're going to get to this, open it. So you have the Windows Offline Flasher, which is the very first thing. And this is the walkthrough that they want you to go, that we wanted you to go through, but I've kind of skipped it backwards and forwards. So we're going to do the Windows Offline Flasher. Double click on this. And this is super easy. So here's a simple Phasma command line program that's going to go into your command line. It's going to run the program, and it's going to flash it. So we're going to double click on this. We're going to run. We're going to wait. It's going to try to detect the device. It's saying that it is on COM port 3. I'm hoping that that's the right one, because I actually have the camera on one of these devices, so I'm hoping that that's the right one. Otherwise, it's going to try to install Phasma on my camera. So we're going to go ahead and click install, and if this works, it's going to blank out the screen, it's going to load all the program, and then bam, you're all set. It's also going to tell you that if there's any existing firmware settings will be erased. Do not disconnect the USB cable while installation process is running. We're going to click that. It's going to check the offline installer and see if it has everything it needs to actually run the program. It's checking the wave shared board to make sure it matches what the file says it should be. It's clearing the board. It's installing the Phasma firmware. I'm actually going to switch to the camera real quick. Okay, it says it was completely installed successfully. The final step is to unplug the USB cable, turn off the device, wait 15 seconds, and then reconnect the USB to turn on the device. I actually have a different set we're going to follow. We're actually going to go home and unplug the USB. We are going to disconnect the lithium-ion battery. And we're going to disconnect the RTC. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you flash it like this, sometimes any backup power that's in there causes problems. So now everything's officially off. We're going to turn it off. And then we're going to go ahead and restart it in this order. We're going to reconnect the RTC. These big old fingers of mine, let me tell you. Bam, RTC is hooked up. I'm going to disconnect the USB because I don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to install the lithium ion. It's turned off, so there should be nothing on the screen until I turn it on. Cool. Awesome. So now at this point everything should work. I can see that it's completely going where it needs to go. So there's locations. You can add a location nearby if you want to. You can go back, whatever you want to do. So essentially, that's it. You have completely built the Phasma device in under, I believe, like 25 to 30 minutes once the videos are all put together. Yeah, I've rebuilt these like multiple times, so I'm fast at it. But there's really nothing to it. It's not complex whatsoever. Just got to make sure you have the right parts. If you try to substitute other parts, you're going to run into problems, and then you're going to be like, wow, that sucks. Cool. So one more thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you something that is one of the coolest things about this. We're going to go to Wi-Fi. And yes, it's going to show my Wi-Fi, open Wi-Fi address over the thing, so I'm going to move this way. Actually, no, it really doesn't matter, because it's not like that. So, alright, the IP address for this is 192.168.4.1, and that's standard for all of these chips. So, I'm going to go to 2000 Wi-Fi console. Now it's not going to connect because I have to disconnect from my internet first. So let me just disconnect. I'm going to connect up to Phasma Jr. Connect automatically. And there it is. So now the Phasma device is connected to this. There's no internet between the two. They just talk to each other, which is really cool. You don't need internet. So if you have an investigation, you can open an investigation. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in here, so it's not going to open. Concept settings, I don't think any of those are going to open for us because there should be nothing in these. It's brand new. Yeah, I was going to say it's not connected yet. Just make sure, yeah. So one of the things you got to do, and I haven't done it, is you got to put a password in here because it will love to connect to your other internet more than it likes to connect to this one, and that's where you run into problems. So I'm just going to let it go, see if it finishes connecting. Let's try concept settings. Okay, cool. So this is called concept settings, basically. It's a weight scale to determine like how much weight there is before words can come out. So it gives you unique concepts. So basically, let's say you choose generic for your investigation, and then you choose outside investigation. It's going to be looking at words that are more prone to be used in that context, depending on what percentage you put. You could put 0, it's just going to pick a random word. But it's going to contextually look for more words based around where you are. So in this case, it's at 50%. So with GPS connected to, and if it knows your location, it's going to go ahead and look for words that are more closely related to where you're specifically at. But not always. It's by chance too. There's multiple mechanisms that cause this Phasma to work the way it does, and each one can be changed, adjusted, however you like. We're going to go back here, and I'm going to leave that there. I don't think I have any user locations on file yet. No. If I wanted to add one, I could do it on the Phasma, then make changes over here, which makes it nice. Maintenance, advanced diagnostics. So I can open the global log analyzer, download global logs. I can also do uploads to the SD card from here, which makes it nice because then you don't have to go and take the whole device apart, pull out the SD card if you want to change things. You can also erase the logs and investigations. I don't need to do that because it's a fresh install. So I don't think I should have anything in here for me to open. I'll just double check. I don't think there's anything in here at all. Cool. There should be no open investigation. Oh, I do have one incomplete investigation. Oh, that was the one I did to test. Okay. Now you could do map session, which is really cool because it's going to show you the sensor log. So it started. So there's actually a key down here. So to be clear, this is a matter of probably, if each square is basically 10 meters, so this is basically the distance my hand moved from one side to the other. So I started this session over here, and then when I moved it over into my hand, and then here it goes. It shows you, and each time it maps a point or something, it'll show you what came up in the activity on the board, which is really cool. So, and there's just so many features on here that it just makes sense to like try and use it and enjoy it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and